right, doing it again. And so I had to take off my clothes, and they're like, hey, grab your butt cheeks. I was like, what? As soon as I stand up, I feel fucking something go down my leg. I'm like, oh my God, that shit smells of me. It's important for people to hear this shit because one, it's kind of entertaining, and two, I think it's like, it's almost sad, but now that like I've been through it, I'm glad I went through that shit. Like it was the worst part of my life, being there like alone on the floor, and it was the worst lowest part of my life, but also like the most beautiful, best part of my life because it just taught me so much.
All right, so take us through it then. This is the first day in jail. What are you going to jail for? Like, what are you in there for?
Well, the charges were possession with intent to sell, and then GBI assault.
So take us through the very beginning though. Like, what's the process? I really don't know.
So this is the night I got arrested. I was in a hotel room with a guy who he was selling a lot of the drugs, and I was using a lot of the drugs, and so like I liked hanging out with him at the time. At the time I wasn't pushing a lot, and so I was around him. I was doing this stuff for free, and basically he's like, hey man, can you get a hotel room for me? I'm like, you got to just put it in your name because he was wanted. And so I was like, all right, fine, like I'll put it in my name. That's fine. You're gonna like give me free stuff. They grabbed him and they were just gonna take him. But I was like trying to help. Like I was like, hey man, like I don't know what the fuck. I was still talking, and they're like, you don't take him too. I was like, oh shit, I'm taking him too. I was like, it's in my name. I'm like, the hotel's room's in my name, like a dummy, like trying to
save him.
I don't know, just being a dummy. And so yeah, they took me too, and they ended up charging me with the possession.
The same stuff as him.
Sales, yeah, same stuff.
Oh, bro, that's
yeah.
wild. It wasn't even that's wild. It wasn't even yours. You were just you associate the people you associate with.
Yeah.
That's perfect,
yeah.
man. I've been in that situation. Yeah. This is the people you associate with. It's not even you, but if you get caught with them, you got took to jail that night and then you stayed there for. How was that first night? Like, how was that?
Yeah.
When you realized you really messed up this time.
I've been a couple times, but
this time is different, bro. Like you really messed up.
Yeah.
You have different charges. You have a felony.
Yeah, felony with sales charge. So when you get in there and they're checking you in to the police station, the jail, they basically take you to a bunch of rooms, and each room smells like shit. You know, it's just nasty. Sometimes there is shit in the room. There's nothing there. There's like benches on like these steel uncomfortable benches. It's cold as fuck, and there's like 3 benches. You're in like a little ass like bed, like it'd be the size of like a kid's bedroom.
A holding cell.
Holding cell, yeah. Because
you're
they got
in
to process.
Street clothes?
Yeah, at first you are.
How many people is in there?
Anywhere from like 2 to 10, just depending on the time and where you're at. But at this point, I think there was like 3 or 4 in there, and there's some people in there for DUI. So they got people from like all different scammers, like like everybody's mixed in at this point.
And it don't even matter.
It don't matter because they're processing you and they're moving you every couple of hours to a different part of the different cell. And so they're processing you, and then after you get through a couple of them, you go into one cell, and this is like hey, this is the last one before they make us like change and stuff, like who's got drugs, and then so people are trying to eat their drugs or whatever they have. This is what people have stuff hidden in their clothes, and they would come by and give us peanut butter and jelly like once or twice. I think it came by like peanut butter jelly or tuna, but it takes like several hours to get processed.
Is it good? Tuna?
No, everything's nasty.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's the worst kind of food that you would ever want to put.
But you're like, you have to eat it though because you're hungry.
At this point, I wasn't eating the food yet. I didn't need to yet, but at some point you give in and you start eating. You get to the last room, they have you change out. And I'd never done this before, but I'm like, what the fuck you mean you gotta change out? And I remember calling my mom and crying like a little bit. I'm like, Mom, they're about to take me in there. Like, I'm really going into jail this time. She's like, yeah, you probably need to go in there. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to get her to bail me out like a little bitch, you know, just calling my mom like, fuck, I didn't want to go to jail. I'm not meant for jail. I was in a fraternity. I went to college, man. I never been to jail with these killers. And so basically the process, they make you strip down, and so I had to take off my clothes, and they're like, hey, grab your butt cheeks. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? I know about this part. I thought we were just changing. You gotta grab your butt cheeks.
In front of all these other men too.
Yeah, so you're lined up in a row. So
the other men are doing the same thing.
Yeah, so this is a wall. There's a cop standing right here. There's a wall, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or like 6 guys lined up facing the wall. So the wall's right here. I'm facing the wall, or maybe a little bit further away because you got to bend and cough. And so he's like, hey, yeah, take your clothes, kick him to the side, and like, and then you got to freaking grab your cheeks, and he tells you to bend over and then cough, dude. And he's like going in there with the flashlight, checking everybody.
Oh.
Yes, dude. This guy liked his job, man. It's cool.
That's great. A flashlight is crazy. After all this part, so now you're walking into the pod.
Panic. Yeah,
You're scared.
Scared. Yeah. Well, I was more scared because I knew I was going to withdraw. That was my biggest fear. Like my biggest fear came true.
Were you like, were you slimmed down because you've been off drugs? Like you were like not fit like you are now?
Yeah. Yeah, so I was slimmed down, and I'd always like worried. I'm like, hey, I don't want to go through these withdrawals because they're hell. Like I just don't want to do them in jail. That was my biggest fear, and I think because I was so worried about it, I manifested that shit because I was so worried that was going to happen. And that's what happened.
Your biggest fear is what?
Yeah, and so you got to just be dope sick in jail, and it's one of the worst things ever. And so I'm like delirious, like I'm coming off of Xanax, the pain pills, and everything else under the sun, and I'm just like hallucinating almost because I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
That's crazy.
Next thing I know, like I wake up, there's like, I'm waking up numerous times with throw up and shit on me. So he made me take a shower because I had court the next day. And so like I finally was able to get into a shower after a couple of days went by. And it still felt like death though. It was like still could barely even get up to do this like walk. Like they made me do it. They were gonna like kill me if I didn't do it. So and then next thing you know, it's like 4 a.m. They get on a loudspeaker, just like a siren or some shit going off, like court bodies, like yelling, and they're naming off your number. Everybody's got a number in there. So it's like you're not a name, you're a number in there. And they yell your number off, and then you have to be ready to go. Line up, and then they line you up. They put these chains on you, like some leg chains, and then these chains that go around your waist, and then your arms attached to the waist chain. And so like you can't really like take steps, so you're like waddling, and then you can't like I go to like itch my head. So after then you're in more holding tanks, waiting for the bus to come at like 5 a.m. And
you're withdrawing through all this.
Withdrawing, yeah. And I know that my court's not to like 11 p.m. or a.m. court, and so I'm like, oh my god, it's like 6 or 7 hours of court. I still gotta get on this bus and then go to the courthouse. Yeah, I'm just struggling through it. And finally, the court bus shows up, and they chain us up to guys. And a lot of these guys are bums. A lot of these guys smell like shit. These guys are withdrawing and like.
Same situation.
Yeah, same situation.
But they like you have a college degree, so you have a job, and you're actually living nice on the street where they're not. Yeah. They don't have that. They're homeless.
Yeah, a lot of
situation. Though.
Exactly. Yeah,
same situation. Just not financially.
Yeah, and a lot of them are homeless. Some of them had some money. Some of them were sell drugs, but there was a lot of them that were there that weren't withdrawing. Maybe they just sold them, or they were just there for something else, like a violent something. There was a guy for like a body in a barrel there. There was all types of some guy that choked a chick with a lemon was there. So there's just a lot of people from different. So I'm on the bus, and it's parts of the relationship. I'm on the bus, and it's like. I'm looking around and I'm like, God, like I'm still coming in and out of kind of consciousness because I'm just so sick and coming off all this stuff. And so we're riding down there. I'm talking, and some of these guys like all know each other. They're having the greatest time ever. Some of these guys are just stoked. You can tell who's been there a lot and then who hasn't. You know, yeah. I'm green as heck.
You're not happy at all.
And I'm like, damn, like I'm just feeling sick. And I'm like, God damn, it smells like fucking shit on this bus. Like, you know.
Are you thinking you're gonna get out of jail?
I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. Like I'm not sure. I just know that I'm going to court and like I'm hoping I'm gonna get out, but as soon as the bus finally stops and we pulled to the courthouse, and me and my, they called it your buddy, find a buddy. They said, find a buddy. And your buddy is the one that you're chained to. And you have to like be able to like walk with him all like a certain way, close enough, you know? God. As soon as I stand up, I feel fucking something go down my leg. I'm like, oh my God, that shit smells me.
Damn, that whole time?
Yeah.
You thought it was other people?
I didn't really like, again, I'm just barely coherent.
So at court.
So we're on the bus. So we're on the bus, like so it's like I think I was on the bus like on the way to court, like because I'm not even able to control dirt. I'm peeing on myself. Like it's a sad scene. But the thing is, like I had it on me, and there's all these guys. I'm like, God, I hope they don't notice that it's me, right? I'm like, please don't notice it's me. Like I'm like, God, please don't let them notice that it's me that has this shit on them. And so and there's this really nasty ass bum that they're looking at him like, man, they think it's the bum that smells, you know. They think it's this stinky ass nasty bum, and like I hear people talking shit to him. I'm like, oh please don't. I'm like, is it the bum? Like maybe it is the bum, but like I got shit on my leg. And so we walk up, and as we're walking out, me and my like buddy, the guard comes up, like it's a woman guard. She leans in, she's like, hey, clean yourself up. Like she knew that I had shit on me even. And I'm like, oh my God, she knows. And then my buddy looks at me and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, that's you, dude? Like just like that, it's just disgusted look. And I was like, damn, my buddy he was not my buddy after that. You know what I'm saying?
He was not happy. How do you have to clean yourself up?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. What are you supposed to? The fuck am I supposed to? I'm like, I got chains on. Like, how the fuck? I'm like, she was sick.
So you didn't do nothing?
Not gonna do anything, not yet.
So you have to go to get a wait for court.
So yeah, we're getting off the bus, and dude, like I'm hoping I don't fall down these stairs because getting off these stairs is like a technique.
Already hard if you were sober.
Yes, and it's steep on the bus, and you got your chain, so it's like you got like a strategy. You got to step at the same time because otherwise, if you don't step at the same time as your buddy, you can get caught up and like fall. I've seen people fall off Yeah. I get off the bus successfully. We kind of like shimmy down it and get off, and I can still tell my buddy's just disgusted with me. And I was like, dog, I'm dope sick, you know what I mean? Fuck off. And so then we get in, they unchain us from our buddy, and we're walking through the metal detectors. The guards are like looking around, like cracking up. The guards just always like, I don't know if they wanted to make it look like they have fun, or they might really have just loved their job and loved telling people what to do. They're kind of just a lot of them were shitty cops. They just had the ego trip, you know? And so they're laughing, like walk through the smell detector, they like looked around, they're like, damn, I can tell them like, it smells like shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's me, dude. Like, you know? And I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they threw me in a cell with I was the only white guy in that cell. It was probably like 6 or 7 brothers and I don't know, 1 or 2 Mexicans. And
God, dude.
yeah, and I immediately, right when I walked in, I am the.
This is in California too. They're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, this is in San Diego.
They're supposed to separate them.
For court, it's a little bit different. They can just put you in for like however. Yeah, it's a little bit different for
But
court.
dude, you got shit all over yourself. Like,
yeah.
What did they say? They just left you alone? You were good?
No, they didn't. No. As soon as I walked in, this one dude was like, he's like, homie, you smell like shit. He immediately knew it was me. Yeah, he was like, and he would not stop talking about it. I was already, he gave me shit for like 20 minutes. Like he's just like hammering into me like oh my dog, like what do you want me to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like what? You know, actually, at first, I think I pretended like it wasn't me. I'm like, that's not me, dude. I'm like,
yeah. So you go to court finally?
So after like 20, 30 minutes, this guy's, I'm about to fucking kill this guy because I was so done with him.
But you can't because you have your shit.
No, at this point they had taken off the I don't think they weren't attached to my waist anymore. I think they were just. No, they weren't attached to my waist at this point. So they released your waist chain and just let you sit in there because you wanted to be able to like, you know, that you're gonna be in there for all day.
Yeah, so you can't be attached to the waist.
And so the black guy kept talking shit. I'm like, dude, fuck this. So I sit down. I'm like, yo, you don't want to fucking get it, dog? Like, and then next thing you know, like everyone stood up. Like all those brothers stood up. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna sit down. I sit back down. Like,
dang, but they didn't do nothing. Oh, because they're in court. We're in court. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, they would have. But they just probably. I mean, they're looking like they're like, dude, we're just gonna just smash on this guy, and then we're getting more trouble. And like, if he's not coming, you know what I mean? I just thought I was gonna fight the one guy. I was ready to do that, but not all of them.
You just sat back down.
I sat my ass right back down. And then he kept talking more. He was mad that I stood up. He's like, guard. He's like, get him. And so he started yelling at the guard to get me. And then they moved me into my own little holding tank. After that, yeah.
You know, you didn't get to clean up still. You went to court with it on you.
Yeah. The guy's name was Terrell because he ended up being in my pod later on. Like I ended up talking to the guy.
No, you went to court with it on you. With the poop. Yeah, you went to court.
I went to court and rode the bus all the way back with it on me, just disgusted it.
Wow.
And
that's like 12 hours.
Oh yeah, all day, dude. I didn't get back till like 6 p.m., 5 or 6 p.m.
Wow, yeah, that's horrible. They didn't let you clean off. That's inhumane.
Probably one of the worst days of my entire life.
It definitely was.
No, they didn't have anything to clean up. You know what they did? They kicked orange peels at me, the guards, because like people were eating oranges from their lunch, and they're on the ground. The guard opens the door and kicks. He's like, fucking soak some of that shit up. That's what he said to me, the fucking guard. I'm like, thanks, dog. Yeah, they're not like really trying to help you in there. They're just like, it is like a big shock and a big eye opener that, man, when you want to go like do something and like moving, but you're stuck in this cage, it's the most fucked up, like humbling feeling ever. Because you want to get out of there, like you're like, I just don't want to be here, but you can't do anything about it. In regular day-to-day life, if we don't want to be somewhere, we can just go. You know what I mean? You can't go anywhere. You're stuck in hell, basically, and just so uncomfortable. It sucks, and you're always cold too. You're always freezing cold because they don't give you sweaters, they don't give you pillows in there. But yeah, I got back and there was this dude, like this other white guy that just helped me out, and it's like I'm not racist at all, but when you go in there, you have to choose. You're either rolling with the essays, you're rolling with the brothers, or you're rolling with the others or the whites. And like that's it. Like you don't have a choice. It's just like you have to. Like it's like you're required. There's no like it's a requirement.
You have to choose one of them.
You have to choose somebody to roll with. And there's white guys that roll with Mexicans and blend blacks, but like it's just you gotta choose.
That's cool.
It's just I mean.
Man, that's weird though. You can't just be solo.
No, because you.
What happens if you do? What happens if you bucket? Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, you're gonna get fucking quick. You're in trouble.
Don't even
it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen
because you got nobody that's gonna protect you. Because like, so what happened? The reason they do that is because if something happens and something pops off, like say that like a couple of like brothers did jump me, like as soon as one of them touches me, then everyone's jumping in. Like literally, the entire race has to fight. If one of them fights, then they all have to fight.
They just do it to keep. prevent.
They do it to keep order, yeah. And so like, if I disrespect you and I do something wrong, like there's all these prison rules. I do something wrong and disrespect a brother, then the brother doesn't do anything. Usually, he'll just tell the guy higher up, and then they talk to the guy whoever's got the keys for the whites, the keys to the blacks, talks and hey, the guy disrespected, and then my own people are jumping me.
Dang.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff that went on there that was just beyond belief that I couldn't believe that. I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing in this room?
What are you witnessing?
And just like felt so bad for my mom and my family that I like am putting them through this shit at the time and just feeling like such a disappointment.
Is that what you were thinking about the whole first week?
Yeah, when they sent me to college, like they paid for my college, you know, and that's a lot of money. And, I just had the biggest regret being in there, like what have I did in my life, and like not even wanting to live at that point, you know, just hating myself.
Are you still wanting to do drugs in there? Like
hell yeah, I'm still wanting to do drugs.
Yeah, because
at the time, yeah.
Fiending
more. Being in there makes you want to do drugs even more because there's nothing to do.
This man, and now what you're doing, bro? Now what do you do with your life, bro?
Now we're getting after it. So I'm working on a book. It's called Jail to 7-Figure Sales because that's what I'm doing. I'm about that life, and I'm addicted to good things. I'm addicted to healthy things. I'm addicted to waking up early. I'm addicted to writing down my goals. I'm addicted to helping lift other people up, making the world a better place, zeroing out people's carbon footprint. So my main hustle is solar, and we're doing really well with that. But I got a couple other little things going on that are in the works, and I'm just so stoked to have a second chance at life, or maybe like a fourth or fifth chance. I'm like, cat. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be on 8 or 9.
That's dope.
So yeah, good things are happening, man, and life is just amazing. I never thought I was gonna get back here. I was happy in a room alone with drugs. If you gave me drugs, I'd still be in that room and would just never leave. As long as I get drugs and some water, I'm okay. Which is sad, but it's true. And so now I'm trying to, instead of be so damn selfish, being a drug addict is selfish because all you can do is think about yourself and worry about your own little, like, how am I gonna get drugs today thing, and like I'll take and steal and do whatever I gotta do to get my fix. And so being able to think about other people every day, and like even in my journal, like this journal I have, it says like, what did you do for other people today? That's one of the questions it asks me every day, and I'm like, even recently, I'm like, damn, there's not a lot I can fill out here. So it's like, but it gets me thinking, I'm like, hey, I need something to fill out, because even if I do something for somebody else, it's like I'm still low-key doing that for me in a lot of cases. You know what I mean? I'm like getting something out of it.
Yeah.
So in order to fill out that column, I've had to get creative and try to make sure I'm always trying to do something for somebody else. And I realized that that when I do those things for other people, good things happen to me. It just, you know, it works that way.
Dang, bro, that was powerful, bro. Hey, let my man know y'all appreciated this time in this story, bro. This stuff is some stuff he's never talked about stuff, especially on camera. So like, show some love in the comments, man. Let the man know what y'all want to see and the questions you have for him, man. Hey, we're out of here, bro. Mad love for y'all. Appreciate y'all.